So I'd like to call to order the Townsend Conservation Commission meeting for Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024 at 7 p.m. Can I have a roll call, please?
James Doran, present.
James Gates.
Kevin Smith.
Who else is on?
Nice and quiet here tonight.
Nobody's present in person, Jim?
Say that again.
Is anyone else present with you guys or just you three? Okay. I just like to keep track.
Only three of us. It's easy to do.
Yeah, I emailed Pat the link to the Zoom probably like 20 minutes ago. I was hoping she'd be able to get on, but we'll
All
see.
right, Kevin, do you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, James.
To the deal.
Oh, we lost Autumn.
Autumn,
Yes.
can you just tell us if other people show up?
Yeah, I will. I'll raise my hand in real life and then you'll know someone else is raising their hand.
All right, you might have to actually speak for
Okay.
but,
All right. Yeah, I'll just
Chairman's,
cut in.
thank you.
Yep.
Chairman's additions and or deletions, 3.4, we need to close out the hearing for 65 Adams Road from last week.
We forgot to close it.
65 Adams?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wilkinson property, we forgot to close.
Oh, okay. How did we miss that? I wasn't doing that.
It happens. Chair report, I do not have anything that is not covered under the agent report. Review and approve meeting minutes from 4:10, 4:24, and 5:08.
I checked them. They're good.
Kevin,
Want to make a motion to?
they can't hear you. Speak up.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from 4:10, 4:24, and 5:08.
So, second,
Roll call vote, please.
Jim Doran, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Autumn, your agent report.
Sure. Yep, this covers dates of May 9th to May 22nd, 2024. Board of Health interdepartmental signatures for 49 Edwards Road needs to be reviewed by Conscom. So I haven't had any other signatures other than you needing to review 49 Edwards Road. We issued a -2 determination
What?
for 42 and 22 West Meadow Road. Sorry, I thought Kevin was saying something. Was issued on 5/16/2024. Order of conditions issued for 65 Adams Road on that same date. And then I had admin approval for 11 Squanicook Terrace for grinding trees that have already been cut. So just grinding the stumps to ground level. Site visits, I did quite a few this past week or two. 66 Bayberry Hill, 27 Scales Lane, 65 Main Street for the pre-construction, 80 Main Street to check out a dumpster that was partly full, 20 Clement Road, and 73 Turnpike Road. And current applications that we have in with us, there's 2 RDAs, one at 198 Main Street, which is Sterilite, just came in, and 49 Edwards Road, which is a septic replacement. So we'll be reviewing those at our next meeting. We have for tonight the request for OOC extension at 73 Turnpike And then for next meeting, the NOIs that we'll be reviewing are 5 Saunders Road, 2 Capricorn Lane, and 88 Meadow Road. So we got kind of a busy meeting next time. And just some miscellaneous items. I did send a thank you letter on your behalf to the Board of Selectmen for their support with Article 5 at the recent town meeting. And then we also had, I did some check-ins for OOC compliance at the rail trail, 66 Bayberry Hill Road and 27 Scales Lane. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Autumn.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, how do we deal with 3 Turnpike Road?
That isn't on, right, Autumn?
Now, she would be blinking. She is
No,
not.
she isn't.
Try to move it to the
Yeah, so
Why don't we roll it to the bottom of the meeting? We don't have to
just
stay
move
in
to the
order.
next one. So 2.1, it's a 7:15 appointment anyways. We do not have a quorum to vote on, no. So,
What is 2.1 again?
DEP number 308-0683, request for OOC extension.
Oh, for you.
Yeah, so I have to abstain from the vote. We don't have.
Correct.
joining
We
us,
don't
so-
have a quorum to be able to vote on it.
Move along.
So we're gonna move it to, June 12th.
But if she pops up onto the screen, we can bring it back up.
Yep,
Move on.
so unless she
Yeah.
joins us during our meeting, then we can bring it back up.
Right, move on. That's why I was saying you can bring it to the bottom of the meeting if you want it. You don't have to stay in order. All right. 3.0.
Hold on.
Good.
So 3.0, Conscom volunteer opportunities and education outreach. Autumn, I'm going to turn that over to you.
Okay, that's really was just discussion. We can have a discussion on volunteer opportunities that you guys are interested in or interested in for me to represent you for. I think it's just good to have a conversation about this stuff. If we're looking to do a little bit more than just the bi-weekly meetings, if you'd like to participate in things or have me, I like to know where we stand on that and what you guys are thinking. So I guess we have some time, so I wanted to discuss that with you.
I'm thinking it's summertime. This is the most busiest time for all of us.
Yeah, I feel that doing some sort of library outreach or library kids hour or something during the summer.
For,
Wetlands,
okay,
plants, that sort of stuff, animals, whatever Autumn is comfortable teaching,
Whatever she's comfortable with.
Yeah,
guided trail tours.
yeah, it could be something like visiting a vernal pool and teaching kids about what's in the vernal pool and why they're important. Or, if you don't want to put as much pressure on me, to lead something like that, we could just work on coming up with maybe one little handout or just something to keep that education and outreach goal in mind, I would say.
That's a
I
great
forgot, I
idea.
meant to bring you a card I got about spotted lantern fly.
Yeah.
Spotted
We-
lanternfly?
Yeah.
I guess we've had the emergence of the
Yeah.
diamond beetle
I
back.
forget,
They started cutting a lot of trees. I think
What
it was
variety
down
it
at
is.
Harvard.
but I had a card given to me recently and it had all the facts and I have that for you, Autumn, so you can see it.
Okay. Yeah, maybe just I know that on our website we have I can send out news blasts with just a title that then if anyone's interested, I think it sends an email to people on this list that sign up. So it could be just as easy as like a bi-weekly invasive species information email, just,
So I sent you that New Hampshire Extension Service, article about, Japanese knotweed.
Japanese knotweed. I think that's really important, especially since we had a recent incident of Japanese knotweed being dumped on town land and spreading through someone dumping it. So I think that's definitely a great opportunity to send out a news blast about Japanese knotweed.
I guess I don't know what everyone else thinks. I think backing into this with, what are your expectations for this and where do you want it to go?
For
Big
me, or are
picture
you
stuff.
asking the commission?
What?
Are you asking me or the commission?
I'm asking you.
I think that at least we should be dedicating maybe an hour a week to putting together some type of information on educating the public on either the environmental permitting or just why wetlands are important. Something that we can keep it in, like keep educating the townspeople.
So I don't think we need to rewrite the wheel and come up with our own information either, because there's
No,
resources
definitely
out there. What?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think there's a lot of resources out there and templates that could be used. But if it's something that's important to you guys, I would like to work on it. But if it's not, then
It is.
It is,
Yeah.
no,
It's
it
very
is, and that's why
important.
we requested the funding.
mhm.
But we also want you to be able to take stuff and run with it.
I think it's pretty important to have the taxpayer informed, the town residents about things like this, the knotweed, and relocating it. And it just takes off and it hasn't killed the knotweed on their property. All they've done is move it.
Right.
There's a lot of educational steps that we can take to, just to kind of keep the taxpayers informed.
So I think the way to measure it is, in my eyes, is deliverables, and do we send out email blast once a month, twice a month, once a quarter, but then also offering some sort of educational experience for younger kids and even grade school kids, if you're comfortable with that, and even adults. And I know you have a heavy workload as it is with your hours, but if there are times that you can,
Spend a little time putting it together so that you can,
and then also
send out a little, like you say, a news blast once a month or something to the public, so that the public is kept up informed that we're actually busy here doing
and then
things.
then you can, and share with us that you've done it, so that,
You report.
right. And that, again, that's, I think, how we can measure success, and then also engagement with the community, and, show the taxpayers that request of ours, that was approved, that special town meeting was worth it.
Right. I agree.
You're quiet.
Yeah, I'm all on board with, I'd like to work, obviously, it's my peeve right at the moment about these invasives. Japanese knotweed is, rampant on West Meadow Road right now, common reed, all these, the Phragmites, multifloral, et cetera. I'm all for picking out a couple vernal pools in town. And if we want to educate some of these people that are interested in it about the species that go in and out of it in the wetland times, the root staining, how to identify them, how important they are to the ecosystem.
Well, just to let the taxpayer, help the taxpayer to be informed.
And with,
when they're on their own property, if they say, oh boy, I've got one of them on my property, so they're not so apt to go out, cut all the trees, drop them in the swamp, drag them out,
because they are in preservation.
go hire.
The worst thing you want to do is go messing with the vernal pool. It is protected in the state of Massachusetts. A lot of them have DEP numbers. And the other thing is, I think it's in our best interest, the more we educate the people in town about all these particulars in the wetland areas, this it's gonna be all the easier at the meetings. And I think, and I had spoken to you about it, Autumn, and everybody knows it too. It would be, once again, in our favor to try to find a better system for all these, for the NOIs, and, you know, on and on it
Well,
goes. It's a pretty complicated system for somebody off the street to walk in and try to do. So, enough said for me.
Yeah, well said, Jim.
So I guess at the next, do you want to come to us at the next meeting with what you've done so far? Or do you want our approvals for everything?
No, I think the discussion was great. I know what you guys are looking for, and I know what I can do with my time. So I'll
You
report
could look
back.
at past meetings also, because I know that we discussed the depth, before, or, you know, past
Mhm.
18, 24 months.
Yep. Okay.
Where was that, knotweed dumped in town? And it's taking off, where is that?
The water department property.
Yeah, but
um,
which one? There's so many of them.
Right.
Yeah,
West,
I'll
West
have to look
Townsend?
back at my email, Jim. I reached
Okay.
out and I let the water department know, and it is on their property, so we're gonna try and work with them and see if what we can do. We're still kind of learning, like where do we dispose of knotweed in town even?
You can't.
You can't, so
It has to be ended in the place it is right then and there.
Well, no,
Okay.
you can bury it also.
Right, you can bury it, and then
Deeper
once
than
it's
5
dug up
feet,
again,
you can
it'll
bury
You
be,
can also spray it.
Put it in trash bags.
yeah.
There's,
Don't cook,
but
yeah.
you know, for
You've
somebody
got
that
to
don't,
kill
for
it
somebody that
where
only
it
has
is.
a little, you can at least get it down when it starts, when it's tender, you can just keep whacking at it with spray.
Even, it's like in a hayfield, once you keep cutting it, it'll go.
Yeah.
right.
You know, it's a matter of, it's just like when we're gonna do the brook area, only way we're gonna control it is keep brush hogging it to keep it from coming out. Only way you can do it. If you think you're gonna go in there with a chemical warfare, think about the cost of it, you know? So,
Well, I've seen it done that way, and
sure,
yeah, so I think through our research with creating the email blast once a month, we'll find out, and we'll be able to educate the townspeople.
Well, again, I shared the New Hampshire Extension Services recommendations.
what was it?
Dispose of the trash bags, bury it, cover with plastics, spray it.
DDT, napalm, and airstrikes,
No,
all of the above.
no, Agent Orange.
I mean, the stuff is so prolific, it's incredible.
It is.
It's tough.
And then,
That's why I got nervous, yeah, it's,
so, and if you dispose of it in wetlands, it will re-root, wherever it lays.
perfect environment for it to run.
So,
No
washes
different-
down, if a stem cutting washes down and lands on the bank, it's
Yeah.
roots there.
I had mowed some last year. And just had to go up and I treated it with Roundup and Hellfire, which is a Hellfire really is like a sticking agent.
Yeah.
And it's still, that stuff is just tough stuff.
Yeah,
I go around.
Big excavator and a deep hole, I think, is the
Greater than 5 feet.
best solution for that.
I mean,
The problem is wherever it is, if it's a patch the size of this room, you gotta
It's
dig it
going
down
everywhere.
you gotta dig it down 5 feet, make sure you got it all. Then plant it,
Well, you bury it
you-
at 5 feet,
yeah.
but yeah, it's nasty. Autumn, what
tough
else?
stuff.
What about, besides email blast and, what about educational events? Have you given that any thought?
I'd kind of like to get plugged in. I could stand to get to, I haven't gone to a class in a lot of years. I mean, something like Garden in the Woods, some of the programs Walden Woods
Well, I mean-
have,
Us host, conservation host.
us.
Yeah.
We need more education before we can host people to educate them.
That's why we can hire someone.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Have you given that any thought? Or even just general nature?
Yeah, I think getting people excited about the environment would help our situation and just help the town in general, keeping the water, drinking water wells clean. So, yeah, I think so. I don't know if it's really my wheelhouse. I've done it in the past. It's hard. It's a lot of prep and then a lot, you're maybe not good on your first round. You really have to put a lot of time and effort into it. So, it seems easy, but it is very difficult. So, I would prefer educating people through the emails and other other ways to begin. But if that's something that you guys would really like to do, I would like to partner with one of you to do an educational program, maybe.
What about you reached out to a trail person earlier this year about hosting a class or a talk on it. Did
Hmm.
that gain any traction? Because it was, I
Walking or bike?
don't remember though.
He covered all trail. It was trail building actually. And he was very busy. He wasn't able to get on our schedule. Um, but it is something that I think
You
is a
don't
good
have,
investment. Yeah.
you don't have to do the actual talk either. Facilitating or lining up
Oh, okay. Yeah.
speakers. That's also part of this educational outreach.
Hmm.
I know National River Watershed has a lot that they can offer. Um, and I think DEP could reach out to me if she's now the education director, right?
I think that's where she ended up
Yeah.
landing in.
And she was awesome when she came to us for the farm exempt or the ag exemption. So I think trying to talk with her and see what she can offer either, to the community, even as basic, I
Hmm.
think would be
Yeah.
a community that are just good to do.
Yeah.
It's not as much work for you besides
Yep.
finding it all out.
Yeah. I can do that.
And just in a good note, Jessica reached out to me from Nashua River Watershed, and they're
Hmm.
gonna start the planting for the trees for the riparian this next week or the week after.
Oh,
So
awesome.
so that was still on. She reached out and I said, yeah, come on down. So we're still gonna plug in, I think, 300 plus trees. So of
Nice.
various types, red oak, silver, red maples, etc., dogwood. So I was glad she, had reached out and we got back on board with that.
Yeah, if you need help watering them, I just watered the ones the other day with a bucket going down to the river and watered all those. So
Your water truck,
Somebody needs drop a water truck off, don't they?
there's a Mac in the yard.
All right.
I got my Freightliner up there too.
How did you water them, with a bucket up and down, or you take the
yeah.
bucket from the river?
Yeah, I was joking with the fishermen. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm watering the trees."
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
It started to rain though, so Jim, I gave up and we did get a
So
good
you-
soaking rain, so
and you got off the hook too, because they need it
Yeah.
if they're young planters. I
yep.
got my little watering truck ready to go. And yeah, can we look into some extension classes for us as
Mhm.
commissioners?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hay season is here, James.
Yeah.
but I don't have haste equipment anymore. I got rid of it.
Mm.
But I am gonna go to Pickett's all summer.
Yeah,
All right.
that's the problem with summer.
So do you think maybe by the next meeting you could figure out some
Yeah.
sort of, speaker that we could host in the near future?
Yeah. I can do that.
We'll let you pick the first one.
Okay. Well,
Because I'm gonna be doing a lot of that, because NRC already volunteered to come down to one of our agriculture meetings. Lenthal even you know, all these guys have reached,
Love to see Dan.
we can come out
So helpful.
to your meeting, and I think if I call him, he'll come out, give us
What's the
20 minutes of it. Huh?
What's the topic for the talk that they're giving at the agricultural?
It's gonna be everything. It's gonna be
Okay.
lost agriculture land, it's gonna be invasive species, it's gonna be best
So why
management
don't
for
the next-
manures and, you know, different things of that nature.
So the next meeting, I'm gonna write this down, is,
But I'm trying to set every meeting up where I'm gonna have somebody available for a 15-minute intro pamphlets, bring everybody up to speed with all the different changing rules and regulations in the agriculture world. And
so for the next meeting, I'm gonna put, a work session just so that you can discuss the Ag Commission.
Okay.
Is that gives you the platform to do it. over
Sure.
Zoom, over
yeah,
the public
Yeah.
access.
because NRC also with Maggie Haynes will be coming out, and it will also be the forester for NRC.
So you can give us an overview of what the Ag Commission does, but.
Yeah, yeah. Hopes and dreams of all that.
Can I move on?
Yep.
Number 6.
And move on, what's that?
3.2 website updates, organization forms and checklists. Autumn, again?
If you guys have any comments on the documents I shared with you last meeting, if not, then we can move forward with getting them on the website and helping people through. It was a checklist for the NOI application process was one of
Yeah.
them.
So
So-
there's also no order of condition extension form on the website.
Okay.
If you go through the rabbit hole on the town website and you go under documents for conservation, I don't think much is even listed.
Yep.
I don't know if the administrative approval's been uploaded on it, but any and all forms that pertain to us should be on the website to be filled out.
Mhm. Okay.
The better they're informed, the easier our meetings will be.
Yeah, and that we should also have, and I think it's on there, a printout of, basics for wetlands.
Good question, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Where is our advent?
For what?
Our advent for the commission?
A liaison? I don't know. Autumn,
I shared the Zoom link with her.
okay, was there something that was pertinent for her to be here?
No.
Jimmy?
Participation, staying involved, keeping up with what this conversation is and understanding what she can do to help us.
Okay,
That's the importance of them being here. That's the importance of her being at that meeting last week too. So.
Okay.
I think their involvement as selectmen is key for us to having some success. Because they'll know ahead of time because of the meeting and they'll say, hey, listen, conservation said A, B, and C. Expect them to come and approach us about these things. Let's be prepared to help them. I think that's the reason why we have her on this.
okay.
Thank you for listening.
That was the only comment I had on them was any forms that we have internally that pertain to a homeowner or. Oh, is that why it's hot in here?
See, so.
This is what controls
I
it.
think it is.
Press the buttons because I'd like to see
Oh,
it.
sorry,
I don't know. I don't want to start messing with that.
I'm not doing it during the meeting. All right, thank you, Autumn.
A lot.
Okay,
Thank you.
3.3 transmittal of hearing notices, notice of decisions, and enforcement with Board of Select, Board of Health, Planning Board, Zoning Board of Appeals, and Town Clerk. What are everyone's thoughts on that?
They have to be.
Are they not all CC'd from
I
meetings?
think,
We're
I think-
talking decisions. No, No,
Decisions would not be inclusive to CCing what transpires in a meeting? If it
in terms of
pertains to
approvals
ZBA
or
or,
denials or enforcement, no,
okay,
they're not. They do they send stuff to us. I feel that, in my opinion, and I asked for this to be put on, I feel that it should be. we should
standard
reciprocate.
operating procedure.
Yeah,
That all of what?
all approvals,
Approvals,
or, sorry, let me backtrack.
Approvals,
Hearing notices, notice of decisions, denial or approval,
correct,
and enforcements.
should, I think that should be, I thought it was a standard operating procedure for these to be CC'd to like Carla.
Currently, it is not,
Okay,
at least within our commission. It might have been in the past, it might have gone, by the wayside, I don't know. I'm just,
to be honest with you, remember for years that it would always be put into their boxes. Either-
who else is on? Sorry, Jimmy, keep going, Jimmy.
I thought it was always standard procedure that at the end of a zoning board meeting, conservation, everybody would have it put into their, so either Sabrina would review it or it would be brought to Eric if Sabrina thought it was important, whatever needed to go to Carla. She would take care with, Board of Health.
Yeah, it ended up in Rich's office, and the building inspector's office, and the enforcement.
It looks like Lori, a
Metcalf.
realtor broker from Massachusetts and New Hampshire, is online.
Lori Schaffner.
Hi, Lori. Yeah.
Hey, Lori.
Where does it show?
I can't see who it is, all I see is.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
Yeah,
Lori.
Laura
How are you?
Schifrin.
Welcome.
Just thought I'd join you. It's like I have nothing else to do.
Well, that's awful nice
So I
of
want to
you.
hear what's going on.
Oh, awesome.
So what are everyone's thoughts? Jimmy, you seem to remember it being something of the past.
I think it,
I did not know it changed, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I've always been under the impression,
well, I think we better look into it and find out.
No,
Yeah.
it's not being done now. So what is
okay,
one?
okay.
don't
I think
know.
it's a habit they need to reacclimate
Yeah.
on, because I think, and I always have understood it to be, at the end of the meeting, they would
I noticed it is.
make 6 copies. Everybody's secretary would get it put into their slot, and they
Well,
would
no,
actually
there's an
computer
administrative
it.
side of things because you have to.
stamp it.
No, you have to draft it. And it has, it's something where Autumn will eventually come up with it, or Autumn will have a template for it.
Yeah. Were you
Just
thinking
on
maybe like
that.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Were you thinking maybe a cover letter, like a decision transmittal for the other
Yes.
boards? Or would you like them to get the see the applications before? What?
I think
It
the
would be
town has
their
a system
decision.
where if they need to see the application, it's way before it gets to us.
Mhm.
But
Right.
I think in terms of the decisions, the enforcements, hearing notices, we should do that again.
I guess
Okay.
it's also, let's look into what's going on with the information pipeline. Let's find out well, at the end of this meeting, is it not printed? Is it not available for anyone to go back and look at the minutes, look at what was decided in that meeting, et cetera, et cetera? Because if it's something that we decide on, that's got to go to the selectmen or ZBA, et cetera. Wouldn't that automatically be forwarded to their office so they know what the decision is? I thought that was what we've done all along.
Yeah, so if it's something like the Board of Health that needs our sign off after we're done with the permit or building permits, we sign off when we issue the order of conditions, and then it moves on to the next step. So at this point, it's something that's waiting on us to action is signed off on and pushed through to the next department. But right now,
I think we're confusing this. This is just a transmittal of decision, transmittal of a hearing, just like zoning board or of appeals sends us or the planning board does.
Planning board sends out a cover letter that
Yeah,
we review often, yeah.
Okay,
Simple, just courtesy that, and it also gets the notice out more publicly because then it's on a TCAM, you know, for all those
mhm.
meetings. It's just simple, just letter stating, you know, basic things that have taken place.
So it
As
just,
an example, an order of conditions extension
correct.
on such and such date, commission.
Yeah.
Approved. Order of conditions extension sending to Turnpike Road.
So
That's all
that,
they have to do. There's
so
no
that goes to
signatures,
Con-
there's none of that. It's just to transmit information.
yeah,
So Jimmy, you seem to think that it used to happen.
I always
I-
remembered it being
then-
CC to each board
Let's.
automatically through either Autumn or Jessica at the end of the meetings.
It was never by them.
Hmm.
They've never done it. It was, could have been done when you were on previously.
I remember the words
I
CC. So
want to
let's
make a
move on.
motion to, send transmittals of hearing notices, notices of decisions and enforcements to Board of Select, Board of Health, Planning Board, Zoning Board of Appeals, and to the town clerk.
So moved.
Well, I made the motion, so you making a second?
Yes, so moved.
Okay.
Kevin, you want to second that?
No, you just seconded it. I made the motion, you seconded it.
Right.
So he doesn't need to second it. I need a roll
Oh,
call.
roll call. Jim Doran in favor.
James Gates, yes.
All
Kevin
right,
Smith, yes.
info.
3.4, notice of intent 308-0707, TWB 2024-174, 65 Adams Road. Can I have a motion to close the hearing with a second?
I'll make a motion to close the hearing, 64. Adams Road,
65
Adams Road.
Do I have a second?
Second, James.
James Doran, second.
Roll call vote, please.
James Doran, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
65 Adams.
Did you get that, Autumn?
Yep, got it.
4.1 land
Done.
protection grant. Deadline is June 14th for Natural Rivers Wild and Scenic Stewardship Council Grant Program. And examples, no dumping signage. Do you have anything in mind, and is this something that our grant writer can assist with? I think the no dumping signs is a great idea, actually.
I think it's a sad thing that we need to put signs up to tell people not to dump junk.
Hey, Jim, you would not believe what people dump on our properties around town. Once a
First
month,
of the
they could go
spring, we
pick
went
a
into
load of stuff up.
we picked up a daycare center in McGovern's in the back corner where the washout
Oh,
is. A dual wheel dump truck.
Autumn, do you have any ideas?
The one that was suggested by Jessica was a no dumping sign, and I thought that was a really good one, something that's obtainable. And I think I can't say because I don't know what Erin, the grant writer's schedule is like. I know she's busy, so I can request her assistance with that and see if she's able to help us or not.
Okay. What about, other signage for, trails that are on, conservation land,
Mm-hmm.
et cetera? Do you have other ideas?
I don't.
I do.
So this grant is providing funds to support acquisition, transaction, and other due diligence costs associated with land protection. I think we should write a grant for boundary marking of conservation lands.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what grant amounts are, or?
I don't. It may be noted on there, but as we do more
That's why I
research,
asked.
yeah, I don't.
Do you think you can get and
Excuse me.
get quotes to have the work done, or just a ballpark? And you don't, doesn't have to be every single piece of property, but I'd say the larger properties that we have in our portfolio should be surveyed and the bounds marked.
Okay. Yeah, I can reach out to some surveyors and.
Find the funding for the survey.
I'm looking it up right now. Say that again, Kevin.
I don't know how you, I don't know there was funding out there for actually survey of bounds.
This is, again, providing funds to support acquisition, transaction, and other due diligence costs associated with land protection. So you're protecting the land by surveying it and
Yeah.
marking the
Oh,
boundaries.
you're right.
Autumn, while
Certainly
Jimmy's
try it.
looking that up, I have a question. Do you have a piece, is there a piece of property in town that's been problematic with dumping? Or an area where we found that it's a repetitious issue and which
It
is what's
seems-
prompting a sign?
The water department issue with the invasive species, that's a site that we're thinking about the signs. And any conscom land that's kind of tucked away or a place where people may find themselves dumping. I think, yeah, there's one spot that I went to and I found that homeowners were just dumping off the back of their property onto conscom land.
Yeah, they do it on the soccer fields too. On Horseshoe, people just,
Just,
There's a lot of that over off Emery, isn't there?
I pushed it back a couple of times.
A lot of that's over by Emery too, isn't it?
Is
Up Emery.
what, just junk dumping
Some of
out
those
there,
little
Kevin?
lots of the town.
Autumn,
Some
what were
of
you
the
saying,
lots
Autumn? I'm
of the town
sorry.
had.
No, I was done. It's over by Ash Street. Is that property?
So if you're dealing with somewhere that a lot of repetition in it and everything, I have a solution. And it worked well in instances down on West Meadow Road.
Hmm.
We put the game cams out, we hide them, and their motion detection. So if somebody's in there, it moves. It comes up on my boy's cell phone. And
Mhm.
surprise, surprise, there's a license, there's a face, and we go talk to them.
All right, so a little history on this. Last year, the recipients were Harvard Conservation Trust. They were awarded $19,956 for large-scale invasive plant removal, native plant reintroduction, and wildlife habitat restoration on 27 acres of conservation land owned by the Harvard Conservation Trust, containing small streams which feed into Bowers Brook, a tributary to Nashville River. North County Land Trust received $2,252 to survey and monument land on Northfield Road to protect road frontage to the Peabody Conservation Area property, which protects over 620 feet of Mulpus Brook and Bloomberg. And then Shirley Conservation Commission received $13,000 towards due diligence costs for acquisition and protection of 24.74 acres of land on Burridge Road, having significant ecological and recreational value and for protection of town water supply.
Wow. 13,000.
So it's, the potential's there, Autumn.
They
Mhm.
they awarded
Yep.
over $30,000. They encourage you to talk. And entities may apply for multiple grants. Allowable costs may include, but are not limited to, surveys, appraisals, appraisal reviews, attorney services for title searches, closing services, deed preparation and negotiation, baseline document prep, easement and land recording, and other professional services. Funds can also be used to acquire direct real estate interest fees or easement restriction in land. Entities may apply for multiple grants. It's a very,
And they are large
Informative website.
denominations. What was it, $19,000 in Harvard?
they're over $35,000 between the three. And it
We
was
need to
only
get
three.
our- we
I
need to
guarantee you it
get
was
our-
almost three, only the three that applied too.
And there's 300 cities and towns in the state of Massachusetts.
This is only Nashua River watershed.
Oh,
Oh, so that
So
actually
that tightens it up.
narrows it down.
So, land protection goals set
Hmm.
forth in the stewardship plan include encourage voluntary land conservation to protect important riverfront and watershed lands, increase land protection efforts to focus on connecting existing protected waterways, restore and sustain lands along all water bodies, including wetlands and their surrounding lands as linear greenways for natural resource values, protect priority land habitat, especially along the three rivers of their tributaries, protect priority headwater streams that supply cold water downstream, and recognize, protect important historical and cultural landscape features related to the rivers. I keep going, but I urge not to take this opportunity, and I think signs are just, it says you can do multiple grants. Have that be a separate one, but I think
And we have the grant writer now, Aaron.
Autumn has to check with her, see if she's for her schedule.
Yep.
I think this needs to be priority.
How is it that she's scheduled if a commission is in need of grant writing and it's available to us? We need to schedule it in with her?
We may, I'm not sure how she's working her schedule, or I just
Who
know
does
that
she
a lot.
work under? Whose directive is she under?
Jessica, the land use coordinator, I believe.
Can you facilitate that? And I think, I know that Natural River Watershed will also assist if you end up having to do it.
Okay.
They give you
Yeah.
guidance. They encourage you to reach out to them, and I feel that this is important to do. Then we should look at
Which
if you-
parcels?
the biggest, what, I don't know.
Just,
The
it's
biggest-
just, sometimes it's a lot of, just open-ended, it's gonna be June 12th before we meet again, so if we don't hash out, the specifics, I can always reach out, or you could come by the office and we can really get to, because when I go to Erin and say, commission would like to apply for this, we need the specifics for her to be able to write that grant.
Yeah. Where is
Right.
the grant coming from? Who's, yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, she's gotta have specific information for that. Well,
How
National
much are
River's
you
gonna be down
requesting?
next week. Maybe
What?
Jessica will know.
No, that's a different person.
Is it?
Well, I'll be in touch with you, James, and then if we can really get the ball rolling sometime soon. I know I'm taking a little vacation next week, so if one of you want to try and get some information together and share it with me, we can always send it directly to Erin too if I'm away.
they can wait till she gets back. Shouldn't.
Well, no, this is due June
12th, our next,
June 14th. So
is our next
When's
meeting
our
or
next meeting?
12th?
June 12th. So
12th.
we kind of
Yeah, you're really
I-
pushing the envelope.
So,
I think-
I think
getting a quote on signs as one grant.
Yep.
And pick other signs along with the no dumping if you feel the need, and then getting a quote to survey and mark the 6 largest properties the town or the Conservation Commission owns.
mhm.
Okay.
And see what happens. You might get
And if it's,
$500, you might get 20 grand.
you might get both.
Okay.
Okay.
Alls I know, NRC's coming out to see me. They're gonna talk to me about grant money for evaporators. They're gonna talk to me about grant money for invasive removals. They're gonna talk a whole
Right. But that's,
sling of
that's
that,
not,
so
that's
that's,
ag, that's different. So.
well,
I
no, it
understand.
isn't necessarily, because
Okay.
if we're removing invasives, that still is kind of embedded with conservation too.
Yep.
Look at the money we spent, $12 or $1,400 to spray that Phragmites. You know where that was, out at the pond
Yeah.
near the pine grove.
Yeah.
That I just like $1,200 just take and fill it in the air.
Well, it's 1,000,000 degrees in here.
Yeah, it's hot.
Those are the two ideas I I think we
Okay.
have all, in knowing that you're on vacation next week, I'd like to see what you can do in the next day. See if we can reach out to some engineer, and see what you can come up with. And then
Mhm.
I think this is an opportunity for the town, to do some stuff that we've talked about.
That's a lot of money. $19,000 in the coffer for us to do something.
No, we
Awesome.
gave out $35,000 total.
But
It doesn't
how
tell
we
you
got
what the limit is.
19.
It doesn't,
Right.
and it doesn't tell you what the limit is.
Mhm.
Right.
So
That's huge.
that,
Mhm.
I'm like anxious about it because it's very open-ended and it's intended to be open-ended.
Like Bob Purcell said to me on the phone, he says, Jimmy, there is grant money available.
Yep.
Steve
It's a
Violet
six-
demonstrated, you see it
Yeah.
all the time. Electric vehicle, solar run coolers, on and on it goes. Okay, awesome. Adjourn.
So, MBTA Community Zoning Act flyer. Autumn, is there anything special that needs to be discussed about this? I
No.
know it's just a correspondence that. Potential multifamily home locations map for Townsend MBTA communities zoning act compliance. I feel like we talked about this.
We have gone over it, but it was sent to us as something to share with you, so I always like to add it to the agenda.
Come on.
Well, you have. The first one is.
So the
one's Old
flyers,
City, One's,
That's
two are on Old City and then there's this one. So, oh, it's on 13,
Yeah, it's on 13, just.
between 13 and Clement.
And what is that again? MBT?
Well, it was land that we had to set aside for housing because Townsend orders a MBTA town, a town with train service.
Okay. I didn't know if it pertained to urban development.
It has to do with multifamily housing because of,
It's basically affordable housing.
And that is where again? The land is in Shirley?
No,
no, Jimmy, it's
No, the
Townsend.
land is in Townsend, but Townsend borders Shirley.
But that
which
spot,
was
is
a
it
train town.
next to? No.
It's
Let me
just-
Pat joined us.
What?
Pat, oh shoot, yep, Pat's online.
There was a piece of property, a couple of pieces of property that the town needed to designate. The
Okay,
town has
hold
to designate.
Pat, do you mind announcing your arrival at 7:53, please? You
In the
muted.
bottom left-hand corner of your screen, there's a little mute button. You can hit that and it should unmute you. If you can find it, it's a little tricky.
Press and hold the space bar.
Oh, she got it. I think you're
okay.
unmuted now.
Yeah, Pat Gilmore at 754.
Thanks, Pat.
Hi,
Thanks,
Pat.
Pat.
Good evening.
All right, so we're gonna jump back to 2.1, DEP number 308-0683, request for OOC extension 73 Turnpike Road, James and Dale Gates. I can't partake in it, but I'm gonna stay here. Jimmy, you have to run this one. And Autumn, you're gonna have to help him.
Can
Okay.
you make a mention to,
You need to, did you look at it, all that stuff, and then a recommendation.
All right, so we need a motion right off the bat.
No, you guys have to
Discussion.
discuss it,
Right.
look at it.
Do you have the paperwork, Kevin? You looking
I
at it?
do, I'm looking at
No,
it.
no, you're not. You're looking at the one I was gonna have you sign for
Oh,
last week, so I won't refuse you. Jimmy has it.
All right, everybody's there to sign. This is,
So, James, do you want to just quick tell us the work that's ongoing at the
Yeah.
site?
The Work is for a proposed garage and associated grading within the riverfront. And the work just has not been completed yet, so.
And the work is
seeking an
gonna be
extension.
in the location of where the old barn was.
Nope, it's closer to the house.
It moved this
Yeah.
way then.
Move further away from the river.
Correct. Over to the other side of the concrete road or?
It's 30 feet from my house, from the corner of my garage.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I didn't know if you were looking to grandfather it off of that same, the old barn that was there and that was just torn
So
down.
we brought it closer to the house.
By
away from
what?
the road.
Close to 100 feet?
50 feet.
Well, it moved it a lot further away from the Squanicook River.
Which was a good, was
which
that
is a good thing.
good sign.
So the erosion
You do a drive-by, what?
Yep, the erosion and sediment control is in place, and the site is, in my opinion, I would recommend moving forward with the OOC extension.
Okay, so that's gonna be for 3 years, Autumn?
Yes.
Okay. Middlesex Register Deeds is, that's there, yes. Paid the Paid the $55 on that, Jim?
I don't remember. Was it-
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was, it's in the ACEC, so that extra funding was included in the check that was sent
So it
in.
would have been 55 plus 25% more, right?
I can double check the fee schedule,
No,
but the
because
check that
that's
he,
what it-
the check that was submitted was accurate. and
Okay, then
processed.
that's all, yeah, so he put in the 25% surcharge.
Yep.
Just double checking, I just got it thrown at me, I like to look at them quick.
Yeah, no, good question.
I make a motion. Mr.
Yes,
Chair.
you can do whatever you want.
I'd like to make a motion to, with 2.1, I'd like to extend the hearing.
Extend the order.
Extend the order of
You'll
conditions
see,
for a period of 3 years for 73 Turnpike Road, James and Dale Gates, DB number 308-0683.
For a second,
I'll second,
roll call vote.
James Drouin, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
James Gates abstain. Pat?
Pat General, yes.
Thank you.
Done. You want to sign these now?
Hold on, let's just, so 5.1, Mass, MACC, educational courses throughout May and June. See MACC website for more details. Discussions, items for discussion at next meeting. Notice of intent for 5 Saunders Road, notice of intent for 2 Pepper Point Lane. Introduction to the Ag Commission and what it is about. Do I have a motion and a second to adjourn at 7:58 PM?
Just quick questions, Capricorn and Timberley,
Yes.
Timberley Park,
Yes.
Saunders Road,
Saunders Road, North Townsend. Up 119.
Yeah.
No, we call it Saunders Road, or Saunders Road, or just up the road.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
We call it Scott Road, Saunders up on the left.
on the left, all right.
I'll make a
Across from
motion,
Patton's.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Conservation Commission meeting at 7:58 PM.
I'll second that.
Second, roll call vote, please.
James Drouin, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Pat General, yes.
Thanks, Pat, for joining us.
Thank you, Pat.
On